Hi guys, welcome to my episode 6 of my Raising Awareness for Mental Health. Today I'm going to be talking about bipolar disorder. Just talking about what is bipolar disorder, causes, symptoms, and all that kind of stuff. I've got quite a lot of notes today, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get right into it. So bipolar disorder just means that a person's mood can change from being overactive or to very excited to feeling deep depression in very quick succession. When somebody's going for a manic episode or an episode, there's no middle ground, so they're either feeling very excited or feeling very depressed. In some cases can be really serious, can lead to hallucinations or delusions as well. This kind of ties in with other different mental health disorders that people have. Hallucinations and delusions seems to be quite a large symptom for some people with mental health issues. So it is relatively common. 1 out of 100 people are diagnosed with bipolar disorder. It's more affecting in 18 to 24-year-olds. It can affect anybody, so it's not just males or just females, it can affect anybody. And bipolar episodes, it can be, you can have so much or you can have so little episodes. And the episodes I'll get more into as the episode goes on. I've got causes of bipolar disorder, so a chemical imbalance of the brain. Again, I've mentioned this before, it's just the imbalance of the brain and something in the brain that doesn't work as well as it should, and that can lead to quite a lot of different mental health problems. It could be genetics. If someone in the family has it, it is a higher risk for some people to actually the people are more higher risk to get it if their family has it. Life events or triggers. So if I feel like every mental health problem has a trigger, where it could be anything, where it could be a bad end to a relationship, if a person's sexually abused, family passes away, or they become physically ill. This could all lead to bipolar disorder as well. Overwhelmed by everyday problems, so such as financial, so money, work, relationships, all this could trigger bipolar disorder as well. Not many people know that, but most people think people are just born with it. Not necessarily true. People can die get it at any time. So there are quite a lot of different feelings that a person experiences when they have bipolar disorder. So a person, if they're going through like one of the depression episodes, then they might feel low and lethargic. They might have suicidal thoughts, negative thoughts about future or relationships. They can feel hopeless or worthless, low self-esteem, or they become socially awkward, kind of leading into kind of anxiety and that kind of sense. Depression episodes are usually diagnosed first, and usually they're kind of diagnosed as clinical depression, and it's only when somebody that has the mania or manic episode that doctors could see it's bipolar. So a manic episode, feeling happy and overactive, lots of ambitions for the future, not want to eat or sleep, which could damage your body. Not keeping track of what they are saying, like not keeping promises because they've said that when they're feeling excited and that, and then when it comes to the actual thing that they promised, then it could be the depressive episode, or they're just not feeling too into it. Not keeping lots of having hallucinations or delusions. Again, that's only if the cases are very, very severe. So it could affect people in many ways and their lives. I've got a few kind of examples here of how it could affect people. So it could affect everyday activities, unable to work or communicate very well. Disorientated sense of reality, they might lose that. Some people with bipolar disorder describe it as a roller coaster, as they go up and down quite a lot. They're hard to lead normal lives as emotions, thoughts, and their behaviour is out of control, whether that's through the depressive episode or the mania episode. Manic episodes can fall out with family and friends due to having conflicts or financial problems. Somebody with manic episodes might get too excited and spend too much money, which could lead to financial problems, leading to arguments with loved ones, could lead to relationship breakups, making symptoms a lot worse. So yeah, that could have a really bad impact on some people. Behaving irresponsibly, aggressive, erratic, or if they're getting drunk or arrested, and even like financial or like having like unprotected sex and all that stuff, that could be because the person's too excited and overactive that they don't think. It could lead to STIs and everything like that. So it could damage their bodies for life, basically. Depressed episodes, too severe that affects their everyday life and reality, and unable to work out what's real and what's not real, which could lead to psychotic symptoms such as like hearing voices, severe paranoia, hallucinations, and false belief of their own identity. So they might not believe that that somebody's telling them who they are. They might not believe that and think they're actually somebody completely different. Maybe even like a celebrity or something like that, and they feel like they don't need to deal with like normal everyday life, and unaware that they need help. Again, that kind of leads to the identity. They might not feel like they're ill. They might feel that they're okay and nobody should really bother them. It could affect other people, like family and friends or partners or whatever. It could knacker them out, basically exhaust them. They feel helpless, unable to help, unsure if the recovery process will work and if the person can get better. So having that could lead them to being absolutely knackered and too exhausted to deal with the everyday life. They might find it hard to protect the person, or they might not understand why they need to protect the person, make themselves ill. This could even affect their mental health, and lead them to have mental health problems, such as anxiety or such, or even leading to bipolar itself. So they might feel frightened that the person going through a manic episode may become hostile to the person, and that way they might be frightened for their lives because they'll be too overexcited and everything that and you telling them not to do stuff, they might get aggressive, and who knows what would happen. So it does leave demands in daily life, so it does affect relationship problems, whether that's like it could lead to conflict and abuse, constant arguing and everything. Work problems, arguments with bosses, the bosses not understanding why a person's feeling like this, or why they're feeling so low 1 minute and so high the next. It could lead to arguments and lead to them getting fired. Money problems, becoming financially unstable. This is mostly in the mania episodes. So they could go out and spend so much money and they have no money left for the rest of the month for bills. Domestic problems, not happy at home, not happy with their own house, so they can that'll lead to really bad bipolar as well. So I've kind of explained manic and depressive. These are kind of like just what they are and how to deal with them. I've got like medical interventions and everything like that. So manic episodes just feeling high or high self-esteem, meaning that they feel untouchable and they don't have any cares in the world, basically. Or if a person's having a depressive episode, they have low energy or feeling exhausted. They feel like they're stuck in a rut, they can't get out, or feel trapped and everything like that. So I've got some medical interventions as well. This could be from anything from medication, hospital admission, electroconvulsive therapy (ECT). This is like an electric current which causes seizure to help with severe depressive and mania episodes. So it does work. Talking treatments. This is counselling, psychotherapy, psychology, CBT, cognitive behaviour therapy. So people are able to manage their illness when entering, just before they enter a manic or depressive episode, and these are kind of ways of how to do it if you're struggling yourself. Being able to recognise mood changes, kind of getting into maybe even keeping a diary, like I mentioned in another episode, keeping a diary and say, okay, well, I start feeling this way when I do this, so why don't I try and deal with that before I become depressed or too excited. Meet with others with bipolar disorders, learn from them, learn how they deal with it and everything. Learn new breathing exercises again, so breathing exercises will help so it doesn't cause anxiety for some people. Ask for support, whether it's family, friends, even going to a support group, going to a GP, going to CMHT, the community health team. Just so many different kind of support groups now for people with bipolar disorder. And sleeping, eat regularly, which leads to a healthy balance. So yeah, that's ways that people can help themselves. Others can help, like family and friends, by just helping them get a support, helping them go to these support groups, helping them talk to about their problems. Talking might actually help them, and or going to the groups might help them. So helping people go to support groups will help them feel better about themselves as well. So yeah, try that. I've got some resources and some different treatments for people as well. I'll kind of just go briefly through this because much of it's the same as different mental health disorders that I've spoke about already and I will speak about. So community care services. So this is when assessments can be made to see what the person needs. Like daycare services and as well. Accommodations, hostels where needs are met. It helps them gain confidence about loving themselves. Sheltered housing scheme, like if they need it. Day centres, therapy groups, counselling, information, advice, develop new skills. That's how that can help. Talking about their issues might actually help them. Seeking information, advice, having that advice, having that information could help them make them feel better. Go to a social worker or a psychiatrist. So you would need to have a referral for this, but it would help people feel better about their bipolar disorder. There is some different treatments as well. I've kind of just noted down some of these as well, so I'll go through that. Care program approach. This is coming with a different care plan, like how a person will have to be looked after, if they need looked after, how much of care they actually need. Community and mental health team, I mentioned that a few minutes ago. Care assessments. They do care assessments, which is aimed to help people live independently. Sorting out welfare benefits and housing. Can arrange a psychiatric nurse if needed. So they do quite a lot of work. The CMHT, and going to a GP would help with that. Try and get into that as well. Crisis services. So this is more of an alternative to hospitals. if somebody needs the services, having crisis services near them could help them not need to go into the hospital, not need to feel trapped in the hospital. Around housing, this is another way of avoiding hospital that some people use for the housing, how to live themselves and everything like that. So it's crisis houses or support in the home. So if they need somebody to come out and help them, then that's absolutely fine. They can get that. Don't rely on drug treatments. So there's no like medication or anything like that. This is just helping them, that kind of side of things, and talking treatments and informal support as well that some people can get as well. So there is many different ways of treatments and resources and everything like that. That's pretty much all the notes I've got on bipolar disorder. It was an interesting topic when I first done it. It was quite a few weeks ago that I actually did do it. I think it was a couple of months ago actually, and I thought it was really interesting. I didn't know that much about bipolar disorder, and it did teach me quite a lot. I didn't know, like, I knew like it was either feeling one way or feeling the other, but I didn't really know in much detail about everything. So I thought it was really, really interesting. Resources and treatments, again, most of this stuff I've learned in this course, and I didn't know there was so much help for people with mental health issues in most countries. I know this is especially in the UK, this is good. I know some countries aren't as lucky. So yeah, it was a really good unit. So that's this week done. Sorry it's a bit late. Been busy this week. So next week will be, or sometime next week will be schizophrenia. I will be talking about schizophrenia in a bit better detail. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to hopefully people learning new things about schizophrenia and how it's not just people being classified as psychos or anything like that, and there's actually quite a lot into it that people don't know about, and I hope to help people understand. And yeah, that's me. Thanks very much for tuning in again, and I shall see you next week.